Good evening, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and call to order the regular meeting 2 of the Swatara Township Board of Commissioners. It is December 10th at 7:14 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Gavel.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. All right, Treasurer Yarzinski, could you do a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Tuckey?
Here.
Commissioner Zubek?
Here.
Commissioner Connolly?
Here.
Vice President Steele?
Here.
President Ellis?
Here.
There's a quorum.
Thank you. And now we are up to item 5, a presentation of proclamations for outstanding community service for Commissioners Mike Tuckey and Commissioner Christine Zubek.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, Board of Commissioners. I'd like to present these 2 certificates of outstanding community service to Commissioner Tuckey and Commissioner Zubek. I'm going to do them in reverse. I'll start with Commissioner Zubek. Throughout the years, Commissioner Zubek has held significant positions of leadership that reflect a steadfast commitment to civic improvement, including notable service as serving as the committee chair of the Public Works Department, Highway Committee Chair of Communication and Grants, CapCog delegate, committee chair for the Fire EMS, Public Works again, Budget and Finance, and a committee chair for the Shade Tree and the Facilities. Notably, Commissioner Zubek also served as president of the Board of Commissioners and as well as a member of the Swatara Township Fire Service Board. I just want to say it's been an honor working with you and for you over the last, 8 years. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners, the staff, and I'm sure our residents and businesses of the township, we thank you for your service. So.
Thank you so much.
And second, Commissioner Tuckey. I also present the certificate for outstanding community service to you as well. Commissioner Tuckey has demonstrated exceptional dedication and compassion through consistent and impactful services to others, including notable service such as the committee chair of the Building and Codes Department, senior citizens, as well as the stormwater director, and a CapCog delegate. He also served as committee chair for grants and seniors in 2024 and 2025. I'll also add the senior fair, I know, is one of the things probably, I don't want to speak for Commissioner Tuckey, but he's probably the most proud of. I know he's put a lot of work into that personally. And I'll say again, the Board of Commissioners thanks you, staff thanks you, and the citizens, the residents of the township and the businesses also thank you for your service. So.
Can I jump in with what we talked about?
Well, absolutely, Commissioner Conlon.
Mr. Trafka thought it would be a good idea for each of you to, if you want to, take a couple minutes and if there's anything you want to say, and then Manager Trafka will give the presentations to you out here. We thought that we had a good background back there. Oh, I mean, I thought that was the good one. You mean? Oh.
Is there a better one?
Yeah.
You got something special.
We'll get you the graph.
It's up to you two to decide who goes first, and then
That's definitely better.
I guess I thought I'd have a whole meeting to decide what I wanted to say, but
you still do. You still do.
I'll do a two-part here.
There you go.
But no, thank you so much. I've really truly enjoyed my last 8 years serving the residents of Swatara Township, and that's the most important part to me. I wasn't going to get emotional. I truly love this township. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Did you?
Yeah, it's like I said in the other meeting, it's truly been an honor serving the residents of Swatara Township. I really do love the community we live in, and I really just want the best for every resident of this township. That's why I got involved back in 2019 when there was a project, everyone knows, the warehouse is off for 322 there. I was fortunate enough to work with and become really good friends with a lot of people in the community. And I'm grateful for each and every one of them. And it's because of a concern that was brought up, because of the potential project, unfortunately, in my opinion, unfortunately, it's still moving forward. And I'm not against development or anything like that. I was personally having issues because there's a school right there. There's a ton of residents through there. And what it's possibly still going to do to our community with the increased traffic flow and disruption. And I was very fortunate to be in that process because that's what had me realize what was actually truly going on in our township, to where I was concerned, to where I felt the need to run and be a commissioner. This was not something I ever planned for. I did it because I wanted to try to help. And I am so very grateful for all the people that have supported us throughout. And you guys all mean a lot to me. So thank you. I just pray that we can get our community back in a lot better shape than what it's in now. So hopefully everyone continues to stay involved, to voice your concerns, and to keep showing up every single meeting, because that's what I'm planning on doing too. So thank you.
President Ellis, I think I want to finish my comments.
Go for it.
I'm feeling better. No, I just wanted to say, as a lifelong resident of Swatara Township, I grew up here. I even have my kindergarten teacher in the audience tonight. She's watched me grow up in this township. I love our township. I love our community. I really, truly got a lot of pleasure out of answering my phone and helping people. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, you talk about budgets, you can argue up here, you can talk about numbers, but the greatest pleasure that I got wasn't arguing with the three people to my left or anybody. It was answering the phone and being able to help somebody who we were their last resort. When people come to you, they've already tried everything else, and they're frustrated, and they're upset with the process, and they just want help. And they don't care how they get it, they just want somebody to listen and help them. Just the other day, someone had an issue with a mailbox. Our staff is always there to help, and I truly appreciate them for that. And the next day, the person had answers. And I just want to make sure that that continues, because that is the most important part of our job. And I also want to say that it was truly an honor for me to be part of history in this township, not because my family's been here for over 100 years, but because I got to be a little bit part of history as the first female president of the board in the history of Swatara Township. And that means a lot. That truly means a lot. Not just, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the direction of our township, and we talk about diversity. We talk about diversity comes in all different ways. And to have the first female president of the board was big, and I was truly honored that my colleagues on the board chose me for that position, and I was able to serve for 2 years in that position. You know, it's about community. It's not about, you know, you can disagree, but you shouldn't take it personally. And I feel in my 8 years, there have been some people taking things a little bit too personally for a township where we actually have to live and be neighborly and see each other at the grocery store. And all I would ask moving forward is that people keep in mind that you can sit up here and you can say, I don't agree with you on this. But when you step out in a parking lot, you should still be friends. You should still be able to say hi. You should still be able to greet people in the grocery store. This isn't about vendettas. This is about community. And I hope that that is the, if I can leave anybody with any positive messaging tonight, it's that I'm looking forward to going back into the audience to be part of the community. I enjoyed representing my community, but I enjoy even more being part of the community, and I just want nothing but the best for our township. I want lower taxes. I want quality parks. I want roads that don't have potholes. I want everything that every single person wants, and that's how I've tried to lead for the past 8 years. Whereas what would the residents in Swatara Township want? And this is what we need to deliver. And so I want to thank my colleagues on the board for 8 years that I've been able to serve. I want to thank all of the people in the audience and online, our board again. One of the things I implemented as president was, for the first time, we officially had live stream meetings. And that's all part of transparency. I'm very proud. I'm not going to sit up here and go down a whole list of things that we did, but I'm truly, truly proud of the progression that we've worked towards in implementing things, especially in terms of quality roads and bridges and projects in our township and transparency on the board. So with that being said, thank you. Thank you for giving me my minute to get emotional, and now my minute to finish things that were in my mind. And I'm not saying goodbye, I'm saying hello in maybe a different capacity. Thank you.
Maybe both of you go out. We'll get out of the way. Doesn't it look a lot like what was up there when you said he was gonna pretty much the same thing?
Not the wrong timeline.
You want me to take with your phone, Christine? Because there's nothing worse than leaving and not having the pictures.
Yeah, that's true.
Am I send it then? Okay. I can still take it with your phone. Anyway. How about we get a picture of with you in the middle, and then we do one at a time, too. Good. But the whole point of getting that there is we need you centered. Kevin, you keep moving. step out first and we get, you step back up.
All right. This board did have an executive session just prior to beginning the meeting to discuss personnel matters. We're up to item 7, visitors' requests and comments. If you have comments, you'll come forward. The podium will be in the middle for you to speak at. You'll write your name down and address, and then say it for us, and then you may begin your comments. Here's a pen.
Here, I got you.
I gotcha. Here's the pen. You got it. Okay.
Tom Burrow, 6050 Hopper Drive. I wanted to thank Brennan for taking care of an issue we had with large item pickup with the trash collection agency. My wife called like 4 times and they didn't come, and he finally got him to show up on Saturday and take care of it. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about was, I think it was 3 months ago, we had like a balance of 1.3 million on that note from Moorestown. Is that taken care of yet, since we got 21 days?
He's talking about the train.
Was it paid, is what he's
The
asking.
payoff, we still have that.
Not yet, not completely.
Okay, because we have until the 31st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to see.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Ms. Claus.
Good evening. Mary Klaus, 447 Pritchard Court. I'm the president of firefighter and an EMT at Chambers Hill Fire Company. And the last meeting of the year seems to be a time to say thank you. And that's what I intend to say as well. I want to thank the citizens of Swatara Township for their generous donations to 2 boxes I have in the lobby here. One is the box for Michelle's sunshine bags. So for the last couple years, the Chambers Hill Fire Company's been doing a special charity project, which we intend to keep on doing, with the oncology department at Hershey Medical Center. And it's in memory of one of our own members, a firefighter, who died of cancer and had gone through chemotherapy for several years there. And because of the donations of the people in the township and the generosity, we take these sunshine bags down to the medical center in June and December, which we'll be doing it later this week. Also, a thank you to the people of the township for their donations of the used glasses, which I use in medical mission trips. And that's helped lots of people around the world to be able to see. But especially on my mind and heart tonight is to thank our 2 commissioners, Christine Zubak and Mike Tuckey, for their love of this township, for the love of the citizens, for putting their hearts and souls into taking care of us all, for caring about us as people and our pocketbooks and our money, and really asking the hard questions that we all in the audience have in our hearts and minds to ask. And they represented us so very, very, very well. We welcome them to be in the audience with us. We know that they're smart fighting spirits and not about to give up. But everybody is so grateful Mike and Christine, for all you've done for us. You love us and we love you back, and thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other visitors or questions and comments at this time?
Good evening, everybody. My name's Jeff. I'm with the Lawton American Legion, for those who don't know. We support the township in every way, shape, and form that we can. And I'm just here to offer 2 checks for a year-end holiday giving. And I'd like to present a check for $5,000 to the Swatara Township Fire Department. And I have an additional check for the Swatara Township Police Department for $7,500.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we appreciate everything you guys do.
Appreciate you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate Jeff, but just one thing. I know you don't always like to be the center of attention, but will you at least let us get a picture of you presenting the checks to police and fire? And we could use the American Legion, but I don't think you said your last name, so I'll let them, for the record, Painter. So, and we just said that so everybody knows your name now, but mostly for whoever's
Record keeping.
going to do the minutes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Are you coming out front here?
We're going to do the same thing with the back.
Just let them do it.
Where are you going?
You're just doing them?
Oh, that's right. I can't take it at the end.
Well, okay. I didn't know it was going to be all this.
I was just going to
Just be, just do them 3. No, that's fine. Everybody's fine with it just being them.
You guys are good with that?
Everybody's fine with it. Or do you care? Yeah.
Well, why don't you just have them line up front like we always do?
True too. Before you guys move, Brandon, can you take it and you can come up and we'll stand up here with them down there? Absolutely. Thank you so much. Very generous.
Oh, now we're going to...
We're going to steal you for one more picture then. We'll steal it here and you guys stand there.
What happens?
We're probably going to have to go off somewhere because if he stands in the middle, let's see this. Yeah. Okay, he's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
And do we have any other visitors' requests and comments at this time?
Thank you. My name is Donald Fisher III. I work at Don's Towing. I run the day-to-day operations. This is regarding the approved tow vendors for 2026. Right now, Don's Towing is not considered to be approved. I would like for you guys to reconsider us.
Thank you. I'll take that. That was a decision by the superintendent of police, who is not here right now, but we can pass your information to him if you write.
I've had a couple conversations with him, but
Okay.
I just wanted to see if you guys would consider me. We've done business with you for many years, and I feel like we are up to the standards of Swatara Township, and we have all the requirements that you ask for us according to the ordinances.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right. Do we have any other visitors' requests and comments at this time? All right. Hearing none. We're on to item 8, motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to amend the agenda, removing item 15.
Need a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we are up to the items on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda with that amendment change.
You just motion to approve. Do you have to do it that way?
I motion to amend. I'm sorry if I did that
Amend.
wrong.
Sorry, was your motion to amend the agenda or to approve the agenda with?
Yeah, that's what
I'm sorry.
Go-
I
go
thought
that
I
way.
was going to amend it first and then come
Yeah.
back and approve it. I apologize for that. Yeah, my motion was to amend it and remove item 15.
Why don't you now approve the agenda as amended then?
Okay. So we're having a second vote on approving the agenda with the amendment.
So I make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
All right.
You know what I mean.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
All right, now we'll go on to a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Solicitor Cocorisi, could you give a brief explanation of item E for the public?
Sure. This is something that has occasionally come before the board in the past. With some of the tax appeals, when there is an assessment that's required, it's common for the three taxing entities, the county, the school district, and the township, to share in the cost of an appraisal that's being performed. So this would be for two separate parcels involved in a tax appeal. The price is approximately $550 per. That would be the township's share, to just share in the cost with the other taxing authorities for those appraisals.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Does anyone have any further discussion at this time? All right, hearing that, yeah, go ahead.
On D. In the past, how many different companies? We've had like
A lot.
2, 3, 4 different companies
A
at one
lot,
time,
yeah.
right? Would it be possible to get a hold of Stuffer quick and ask him a question, or?
I think what the best course of action would be, we can have a discussion with him and we can, like, this doesn't have to be it. If there is a decision to move forward, it can be on the agenda again. So it's not,
Okay,
so.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Does anyone have anything else?
I have one question for, which one is it? Item F. I believe one or two of the employees who submitted requests are actually employees of the Stormwater Authority, not the township. So I just wanted to be clear, the township would only be approving the requests from township employees.
Yeah.
Would it be township employees or the percent of the
All right.
cost sharing?
I know the two you're referring to, and they are cost shared. So
We're just following our policy portion of it, and then,
Okay, then if they are cost shared with the other entities, then you would be approving your portion
Correct.
for that cost.
yep.
Thanks, Lydia.
All right. Does anyone have anything else this time? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Consent agenda items are approved unanimously. We're up to item 10, building and codes plans, and I will turn it over to Director Golden.
There we go. Good evening, everybody. The first plan is for Holly Robertson, the Tri-State UPA LLC. This is a final land development and subdivision for 1031 Eisenhower Boulevard. The zoning district is general commercial. The proposed project consists of the consolidation of tracks 1 and 2 as shown on the deed into one lot, and the construction of a 5,150 square foot building. A pool hall is proposed to be in the new building, and the existing 3,885 square foot tavern restaurant will remain. This is the former Rod's Roadhouse property. As usual, various agencies have reviewed the plan. Tri-County Regional Planning Commission provided comments on October 30th, 2025 as required. The applicant, also the Township's Planning Commission recommended approval of the plan at their meeting previously in the month. There's one waiver request to submit a preliminary plan which staff supports, and a deferral of the sidewalks which staff supports. There's also one more. There's also a deferral of the requirements of 25331 to install curbs. Mr. Hoover, the applicant's representative, is here, and I'm sure he'll be happy to answer questions and provide additional information I failed to mention. However, we are recommending approval of the plan with the conditions as outlined in staff's memo.
Thank you, Mr. Golden, and good evening, Commissioners. My name is Chris Hoover with Hoover Engineering Company. It is Holly Robinson and Mike Budd, who are developers from TRAP. As Mr. Golden has indicated, this is a plan for a proposed expansion of the former Rod Roadhouse facility. Holly and Mike are currently located in the township, and this gives them the opportunity to actually own the facility where their business will be located. We're proposing to essentially double the size of the existing building. Both buildings will be utilized for the pool hall use, as well as still retaining a restaurant component and bar use. As part of what we're proposing to do, we will be restriping and relighting the existing parking lot. As you may be familiar with the property, it needs a little bit of tender loving care, and both of my clients intend to do that. We've worked with township staff as well as the different reviewing agencies to clean the plan up before you this evening, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions at this time?
I have no questions. I just think a pool hall is a really great idea.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you. I think we're good. Appreciate it.
I'll make a motion.
All right. And do you want to just go over what the things are real quick, so then you guys can still be a motion in a second?
So there's going to be one waiver, which is the preliminary plan, a deferral to install curbs along Eisenhower Boulevard, and another deferral to install sidewalks along Eisenhower Boulevard. And then the approval of the plan itself.
All right. Can we do all together?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have a question on a deferral for sidewalks, though. I know this board has expressed concerns in the past on deferral of sidewalks rather than, are they planning at some point on?
The deferral means it's recorded on the plan, and if at any time we, were to require it, then they would have to.
Okay. So
it's
we're
the
not
fee in lieu of.
We're not doing it in lieu of.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to address that where they're at.
I know there's really nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there now, but also where they were, there was nothing. So for people that aren't familiar, they're in the plaza where Gilligan's is. It's Ho-Ho's. So they've kind of outgrown that, and they want to have their own space, and they're moving towards it. Ironically, it came at a time where after 10 years, we were getting sidewalks and curbing in. But on a fairness issue, the location that they're leaving, PennDOT was putting in the sidewalks and curbs. So to see them move down the street, we're not saying that at some point that corridor won't continue past the bowling alley and Schmidt's Sausage. But for now, for them to move from a place to get up and running, to put that burden on them.
I'm not suggesting we do that.
No, I'm just saying overall, because it obviously, you're right, the board does generally like to see, wherever we can, sidewalks, but because they're just one piece in the middle.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the location.
Yeah, so,
I just...
But there was conversation, and they certainly were, they were willing to do whatever they needed to do, and the Planning Commission thought that the deferral, under the guidance of Mr. Golden, that it was the best plan. So Mr. Hoover that's working on it, covered all the options and had a really good presentation. So we don't take it lightly, as Commissioner Zubek said, but in this particular case, we thought it was the best course of action.
All right, does anyone have anything else? Good. No.
Just wish you all the best with your business. Thank you.
I do have a question for Zach. With the deferral on there, should we break these out and vote individually?
We haven't done that before. We can do it.
We've done it this way before, yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm just asking. I'm fine with voting once, but.
Yeah.
It's whatever you guys think.
Okay, then we have a motion in a second.
All right, any more discussion?
No, thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. That plan is approved. As well as the resolution. 1 second, so I can figure out which number that is. That's going to be resolution R-2025-65. All right, we'll move on to item B.
All right, thank you. This is an even easier plan, I believe. This is the final lot consolidation plan for Swatara Township Government Complex lot consolidation at 599 Eisenhower Boulevard, where we sit currently. This is the limited commercial zoning district. The proposed project consists of the combination of properties 1 through 9 for a total of a little over 430,000 square foot, or 9.91 acres, for the ultimate construction of a new public safety facility. No improvements are proposed at this time. And I wanted to note for the board and the public that Dahlwood has engineered this plan. Therefore, due to the conflict of interest, HRG has fully reviewed the project for code compliance. And also, myself, the zoning officer, has not reviewed the plan, as the township is exempt from the zoning ordinance per section 295-17 of the township code. The other agencies that reviewed it was Tri-County Regional Planning Commission, who provided us comments on November 18th of this year. The Planning Commission at their meeting December 1st unanimously recommended approval of the waiver deferral in the plan with the conditions as outlined in your memo in front of you. There is one waiver request to waive the requirement for the preliminary plan, and the deferral is to install sidewalks along Eisenhower Boulevard, Swatara Drive, and Executive Park Drive. It is my understanding that the township will install sidewalks at such time as land development, which is not before us tonight. So we're recommending approval of the waiver and the deferral and of the plan.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion at this time?
Madam President, I prefer a roll call.
That's fine. Anybody else? All right, Treasurer Yarzinski, could you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Commissioner Tuckey?
No.
Commissioner Zubek?
No.
Commissioner Connolly?
Yes.
Vice President Steele?
Yes.
President Ellis?
Yes. All right, that is passed 3-2, and that's going to be resolution R-2025-66. All right, we are on to item C.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. This is the last one for the night. This is a final minor subdivision for Prestigio LLC or Paul Navarro. The zoning district, Lot 1 is in the medium density residential and Lot 2 is single family residential. The proposed project consists of the transfer of 0.2282 acres from Lot 1 to Lot 2 in order to add sufficient area to construct a single family dwelling with an on-lot sewage disposal system on Lot 2. Agencies have reviewed it as normal. Tri-County Regional Planning Commission provided comments on November 19th, which is also in your packet. They're requesting one waiver and 3 deferrals. The first waiver is of 25311 to submit a separate preliminary plan. Deferral of 25324F to pay the park and rec fee in lieu for Lot 1 only. Staff supports this deferral as no development is proposed on Lot 1 at this time. The applicant will be required to pay the fee in lieu for Lot 2 where the house is being proposed to be constructed. The deferral of the requirements, 25331 to install curbing along the frontage of Lot 2. We support this as no curbs exist along Shady Drive or against Meyer Lane. And then a deferral, 25332 to install sidewalks, again, along Lot 2. And we support this as there's no sidewalks along those streets. The Planning Commission did review the subdivision at their meeting on December 1st, recommended unanimous approval. And Mr. Navarro is here, and we're recommending approval of the plan with the conditions as outlined in the staff memo.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Does anyone have any discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah. The perk test is coming back okay for that property?
Yes. So
Okay.
basically the purpose of this subdivision was because there wasn't enough room to have an alternative system on the lot. So Paul has to increase his lot a little bit in order to make the alternative septic area work. And it's my understanding that the perks came back fine.
Yeah, that's correct. We did it first, the set of perks were within the existing lot area, and some of those were not what they needed to be for the 3-bedroom home. So we needed to extend and add more area, so that's what we're doing. With those came in fine. Colby
Snyder.
the new sewage enforcement officer, reviewed those and gave us the approval.
That's my only concern. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Took a while.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions at this time for Mr. Navarro? We're good. Thank you. All right, we had a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's going to be resolution R-2025-67. Now we're on to item D, consideration of financial security release, 7967 Dairy Street.
Motion D, E, F, and G.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll let you go over each of them, Director Golden, and then see if there are any questions.
Sure. So briefly, we're continuing to clean up old projects. This is pretty much one of the oldest ones, Dollar General at 7967 Dairy Street, the remaining 11,000 approximately. Ridgeview Development, we had a request from McNaughton to release that. We checked with everybody and that's good to be released. It's approximately $25,000. Duncan, I know everybody was excited about Duncan up the street here. This is a full release for Duncan. They're open, ready for business. And then 5590 Dairy Street, this is for a convenience store. And for an addition project, this is a partial release. We'll be coming back for the rest later.
All right. Does anyone have any questions with regard to any of these releases or reduction at this time? All right. Hearing nothing. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Done with our building and codes plans. We are up to item 11, reports. Treasurer Yarzinski.
Yes, this is the treasurer's report for the month ending November 30th, 2025. I also realized at the top I spelled November wrong, so I will change that before it goes on the website. But the beginning balance for all funds was $22,945,415.71. We received $3,050,933.15. We dispersed $3,270,803.18 with an ending balance in all funds of $22,725,545.68 at the end of November 2025.
Thank you.
Motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Do we have any discussion or questions at this time? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? right. On to solicitor's report. Do we have a solicitor's report this evening?
I just want to stick with the spirit of reflection and looking back on the year, say thank you to all of you for having me join you at these occasionally exciting, often long, always insightful meetings of the board, and it's been a pleasure serving. Thank you.
Thank you. We are on to item C, the fire service and EMS report.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, and members of the public. I present to you the November 2025 Swatara Fire Rescue Report, and I'm missing my page. Hang on a second, I got to pull it up on my phone. On mine? I got it. Actually, can you give me one here? All right, sorry about that. In November, Swatara Fire Rescue responded to 133 calls for service, including 4 calls for service in Pakistan Borough. These incidents included 9 fires, 27 medical calls, 15 hazardous conditions, 18 service calls, 25 good intent calls, and 34 false alarms. We had 76 active responders and 5,772 hours of staffing, and we had 448 hours of training for the month. Our average response time was 4 minutes and 32 seconds. We provided mutual aid 23 times and received mutual aid 37 times. We were also very active in the community for November. Crews helped deliver Santa to Bass Pro Shop, participated in Cummins Health and Safety Day, attended Veterans Day service, assisted with the Thanksgiving Day cleanup, and took part in the Pakistan tree lighting. That's it for the report. I just want to talk about an incident. Usually I talk about incidents that happened the previous month, but last week we had a structure fire that was very complex in the township. I was actually at a chemical lab, and I want to commend all the crews that were there, but especially the first in crews. They made all the right decisions at the right time, at the right pace, and prevented a really bad situation from getting a lot worse. The unfortunate thing is we're dealing with the aftermaths of this now with a lot of turnout gear that is probably no good, hose, air packs, even radios, and the long-term effects, health effects on our firefighters from everything that they were exposed to. So just, please think about them. None of them have any signs or symptoms or anything, but you don't know when you're exposed to, 30 some chemicals in a lab, what the long-term effects of that are going to be. We are, filling out exposure reports and doing all the right things for our firefighters, so if they ever have issues down the road, they will be taken care of. But again, the first in crews, the mutual aid crews, everybody just did an excellent job. It's just that is a high risk, low frequency event, and they performed outstanding. So outside of that, I have nothing else. I don't want to forget EMS is here. I always forget to let them do their report. So if there's no questions for me, switch over to the EMS report.
Any questions? Nope. Go for it.
Good evening. Eric Durham, Community Life Team EMS. So Swatara had a total of 411 EMS calls in November. 35 of those were covered by mutual aid. Community Life Team covered 376, or 91.5% of the calls in Swatara Township. Our average response time to the scene was 8 minutes and 40 seconds in November. Any
Thank you.
questions?
Does anyone have any questions? No, thank you.
Thank you.
I do have something. We had a citizen bring up that the mail fundraiser program had reached some people in Swatara Township, and we've seen that because of sometimes the postal areas overlap. I also received it. My home is clearly in Swatara Township, but I was still an address, so and the person that spoke probably did too. But I think you guys did put out a statement. Barry gave
we
a
sent a
statement to Mike.
statement, I
So
believe, to the chief. And it's
did
on
we
your-
get that on that's on our social media then?
Yes.
Okay, and then.
It's on the township. Did we share it to the township?
It's
Okay.
Okay, so,
I saw it on the flyer.
and in that statement, basically saying that, the township is not part of that fundraising program, and if anybody had donated, that there was a remedy in the statement. So I appreciate that, because that's what the member of the public had brought up to us.
Yeah.
And that was just last week? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was the most recent meeting, so I appreciate you addressing that. And obviously, we believe that you will make good if anybody did that. And as always, I mean, that's a high number. You're up over 400, and we appreciate the service you provide to the township. So thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I asked last week too. Is there any way that your company could reach out to the residents that may have donated and just notify them? Because not everyone sees the posts on Facebook and things like that. And if they still want to give the donation, they can, but is there any way that you can reach out to those people or no?
I don't deal directly with the membership. I'll be the first to admit that. But I can definitely relay that to our billing department to see if they can keep an eye out, if they can track those addresses and keep an eye out for if they come in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the Police Department and Community Services report. You came back just in time.
I did. It was perfect timing. And just want to extend my appreciation of the board for allowing me to come late tonight. Just so the public knows, the Police Academy graduation was tonight at the Forum in the city. So I was in attendance to watch our 3 brand new police officers graduate. It was a very well-attended event. Our officer, Brendan Bretz, was actually the class president of the Police Academy, and he gave an excellent speech and represented the township very well. So thank you, and thanks to Lieutenant Kraling for standing in for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. That being said, I have the Police Department report for the month of November. In the township, we had 1,186 calls for service. We had 59 calls in Paxton Borough for a total of 1,245 calls for service. Our Part 1 crimes, the totals, we had 1 robbery, 19 assaults, 1 burglary, 31 larcenies, and 1 motor vehicle theft for a total of 53 Part 1 crimes. The Part 2 crimes were a total of 2 forgeries, 19 for fraud, 1 stolen property report, 4 for vandalism, 3 weapons offenses, 2 sex offenses, 14 drug violations, 3 family offenses, 4 DUIs, 2 for liquor offenses, 7 public drunkenness offenses, 14 disorderly conducts, and 30 that fit in the category of all other crimes for a total of 105 Part 2 crimes. On the second page, our monthly statistics, we had a total of 68 arrests. 4 of those were for DUIs. We had 63 traffic citations, 115 traffic warnings, 20 non-traffic citations, 14 parking violations, 6 foot patrols, and 5 school foot patrols. In our crime and call trends for the month of November, you'll see there that the Part 1 crimes, Part 2 crimes, and the calls for service are all down as compared to the numbers from October. They're also down across the board as compared to our annual statistics at this point in time last year, which is good news. Our Community Services Division last month had 2 events and presentations. We had 14 enforcement programs, Those were divvied up between the aggressive driver program and the click it or ticket program. We also collected 70.87 pounds of unused prescription medication in our drug drop box and had 4 mix-app inspections. And you'll see our year-to-date total for the drug drop box is 614.91 pounds. That's a lot of medication that wasn't put down the drain or put into the trash to end up in the waterways, which is really good. Our highlighted event of the month from November, on the 14th, Corporal Pocrop gave a presentation on use of force in law enforcement to 2 criminal justice classes at the Middletown Area High School. And our upcoming event is Shop with a Cop. That's this Saturday, the 13th. We'll be partnering with the Harrisburg Area Police Athletic League. This event is held in Swatara Township at the Harrisburg Walmart. Shop with a Cop pairs up less fortunate children with law enforcement officers for a morning of shopping. The kids receive a $100 Walmart gift card, courtesy of Walmart and the event sponsors. This event helps build positive trust and relationships between law enforcement and our community's families and children. And the pages that follow are all the breakdown of our calls over the past month. I won't read through all of those, but they're there for anyone who'd like to see them. And this report will be posted in the township lobby, and it'll be on our website as well for anyone who would like to review it. And that is the conclusion of the report, and I can take any questions.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
I have an odd one.
I don't.
Do you think month over month you see more medications being dropped in there now that that's in the hallway because some people didn't know it or might be in and out of the stormwater office or the codes office and they see it, so you're probably getting more, or what do you think?
That's a good question, Commissioner. I have to look back at the previous month's reports, but it's certainly, making it easier for residents and non-residents. You don't have to be a resident of Swatara Township to use our drug drop box, but certainly easier access for residents to come in and get rid of those medications in a safe way. So I'd like to keep it there if we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I've actually had people ask me questions about that. So I wanted to ask one more follow-up to that. How do people go about dropping their medications off? I mean, do they take the names off? Do they take the personal? I've had people ask me what format they should take when dropping them off.
You can take the stickers off the pill bottles if you like, but you don't have to. We don't record any information off of the pill bottles or the other boxes that are in the drug drop box. Very simply, a lot of folks just put those bottles and boxes into like a plastic shopping bag that they're going to recycle from the grocery store, tie it up. It goes right into our drug drop box, which it's white, but it looks like one of those blue U.S. Post Office boxes. That's how it works. You open a lid, you put your unused medication in the box, close the lid, it drops down into the bin. We don't have any access to it other than through our forensics detectives. So they're the only ones that have a key to get into that box. They'll go up and unload that every month. They weigh it. Like I said, they don't record names, addresses, information off the drugs at all. It all goes into one big box and the whole thing gets destroyed at one time.
Sounds good. It's good for the residents to know that. Thank you. I appreciate you explaining it.
Sure.
And I also want to thank you and the entire police department for everything you do, both for our community events as well as policing our neighborhoods. And again, I can't thank you enough. And when I see numbers going down, that makes me happy.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go to the Public Works and Recreation report.
Thank you again, Madam President. Good evening, Commissioners, staff, and guests. I'll quickly go over the November monthly report for the Public Works Department. Public Works is continuing our fall leaf collection. That began October 13th. We staff pretty much for the whole month of November worked on leaves, and we have concluded our street sweeping program for 2025. We're hoping to get started again. It says spring of 26, but I'd be happy if we got out in the winter. On another note, I had a couple of questions with the leaf collection because unfortunately Mother Nature decided to throw us a curveball this year and give us some snow the first week of December. We are currently back out collecting leaves. We were able to get 2 crews out. We don't have our full complement of crews because we had switched all the trucks over for snow, but we did put 2 boxes back on and staff is out. We're going to try and make one pass through the township. We were able to get Chambers Hill, Rutherford, and I'm not sure how far they got today in Lawton and Lanker Manor, but we're trying to, like, this is our last, time around. We really want to get all the trucks converted to snow operations. So it's a timely process to do all those things. But I just want to let everybody know they are back out. Maybe this week, maybe early next week, we will be shutting leaf collection for the year. Parks and Rec staff, they continue to do their fall maintenance. That's same as always, trash, keep up after the parks, the limbs fall, things like that. They trim trees. They did complete their overseeding and fertilizer for this year. And last but certainly not least, I always want to bring this up, phase 1 of Bishop Park is ongoing. So as you drive by Highland Street, there's a lot going on over there. We're excited about that and looking forward to when that opens. So that is the end of my report for this one.
Thank you. I do have, just for the public, I know we talked about there'll be playground equipment delivered for the Crest. Have we received it yet? Not yet.
No. So, so staff is up at the Crest right now, and we're at Ivy Ridge. We figure most of the playground activities have ceased and desisted for the year. So we did remove the old place at the Crest, and we're going to do the excavation. I thought we were going to have, or we would already have the play set, but I've just found out today that the play set for the Crest is due to arrive tomorrow. The contractor that's doing the install will probably not get here till second week of January. And then we'll have to follow that up afterwards. So again, we're going to use the winter months to get that in, and then they're also prepping Ivy Ridge swing sets. I do have those swing sets in our possession. And when the contractor does the one playground, they're going to move right to the other. So hopefully by the end of January, fingers crossed, those 2 playgrounds are done and ready for the kids in the spring of 26.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone have any other questions? All right. We're up to item 12.
Motion to advertise.
The motion.
Second.
We have a second. This is for the 2026 budget. We had the budget presentation last month at the second meeting. Brittany, do you want to just give some highlights?
Yes. President Ellis said, it was presented last month. There have been no changes to what was presented last month to this month. I just want to be clear. It's the same one that is on the Facebook and on the website. If anybody has viewed it, there have been, like I said, I just want to reiterate, no changes. It does reflect the 20% health insurance increase. However, our figures did come in lower at about 14%. So there will be a savings there. It's just what was budgeted and the timing of when we got those figures. It wasn't able to be added in time. But however, that has been, I guess you could say, the only change.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions at this time or any discussion?
I just have a couple points I'd like to make. I'm going to reiterate my concerns regarding the health insurance increases. In the stormwater meeting, I had referenced that it was 14% increase. And for the township, it's a 20% increase. We had a presentation over a year ago talking about the cumulative cost savings that we would have in healthcare. And in that meeting, I had asked if there was going to be a cap on an increase of premiums, because I think that's important if you're looking at changing providers, and was told that there would be a cap, approximately 5%, if I recall. And that is not the case. So I would like to reiterate my concerns going forward that should we continue to have discussions with any insurance brokers, providers, or anyone in the future, that we ensure that if they say there's going to be a cap on increases, that we hold them to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
I just want to make a clarification. The 14% number also applies to the township, but when we voted on this 30 days ago, we built 20% in, so that it's the same rate for stormwater, and so
It's still over
it's
the
a lot.
5%.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot, and it's higher than we would have liked to have seen it, but it's less than what we had anticipated. So, and the one positive is that it didn't go up as much as we were prepared for it to go up when we voted on this. And just to be clear, I think it was only about last week when we finally, Brittany didn't give up on it. She put the 20% in because that's, that was the kind of the gloom and doom number. We asked for a meeting with the administrator of the program, and then they came back with about 5.5% savings. So I just want to be clear, even though we're saying that 20% was what we built into what we're voting for now, we couldn't change it because we had publicly advertised it. So a little bit of good in a bad situation.
Well, coming off of 20% is not a savings, though.
Right. Well.
All right. Does anyone have anything else at this time?
Yeah. The trans loan, I have concerns about that. It was 1.3 million that was borrowed from it. From my understanding today, when I checked, it's $2 million that's been borrowed from it. How's that going to be planned to be paid back?
It's going to be paid back by the money that we have coming in from our various agreements, and, along with EIT and LSC, that we are still expected to receive through the end of the year.
That's not going to be enough to pay it back. So how's it going to be paid back?
We expect to receive enough funds. We do have enough allocated.
Okay, I'd like a breakdown of what those funds are going to be roughly, because from my understanding, we're going to come up short.
Based on the last meeting we had, there's 6 different funding options, and I'm not sure where you're saying it's going to be short, because we currently had enough for it, but we're still looking at money that was already spent that could be covered by existing grants to go back, and this is going to happen over the next 2 weeks. Money that was spent that could be covered by bond, and Commissioner Steele's been going through those with Brittany and myself. Money that was already spent that may be a reimbursement from the Stormwater Authority. 2 or more intermunicipal agreements that one sizable payment just came in and another one is coming in by the end of the year. We were hoping for the PP&L easement, but we don't have it, but if it does come in, that helps. And then capital reserve. So I'm not sure where you're saying that we don't have it. It's a bad situation to be in, but when you add all those up with what we have to pay, I'm feeling after the most recent meetings of the numbers that we're going to cover it. So unless you know of either a large expense or some revenue that we're not going to get, I'd like to know what it is, because we're going to be meeting over the next, we're going right to the, basically, we're meeting like every other day.
I do have a question.
I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. The trans loan's up to $2 million that we have paid back by the end of December. The easement, it's only $460,000 as long as we get it in on time by the end of the year. The agreement that we're getting from Still High is $150 by the end of the year. I don't see, we have payroll coming up, that's on the 19th, and that's average $300,000, I believe. Is that accurate?
Well, you just read off $610,000.
Yeah, I know what I read.
So the
What
math,
did I just say? Payroll is about $300,000 that we have to account for. So I just, honestly, I'd like to know how it's going to be paid back in time.
I think Brittany answered it. I think it's through the various funds. And
There's not
that-
enough coming back from those funds, from what I understand.
Okay, you just gave $610,000, and that doesn't include LST and EIT, right? That
Right.
doesn't include the chargeback of the cost sharing agreement, and it doesn't include what we have in capital reserves if necessary to do
And
that.
there's a pile of bills sitting on our
So-
desk
so-
that should be paid.
The perception that you have doesn't match with reality.
Okay.
But
You know what, Shane Still? You want to keep knocking me.
I didn't knock
Anytime
you.
no, you most certainly have. I was trying to end this meeting without, I tell you.
Well, you just gave us
No.
$610,000 between two agreements, Commissioner. And you said we had $2 million to pay off, which I don't know exactly what it is. And then there's $1.9 million sitting in capital reserves. And you said that the payroll is going to be about $300,000. So we're at $310,000, right? So if you just look at the $310,000 that's left over from the $460 and the $150 to make payroll, and you still got $1.9, you're well over $2 million. So how are you painting the
So you're
picture?
gonna take
How are you
everything
painting the
out?
picture of the story that the money's not there and the township doesn't have the money to pay off? And that's absent of the LST, EIT, and the cost sharing agreement money that we still have to get in. So you justified, essentially to the public, that yes, we have the money to pay it off.
That's not coming in this year, though.
Not exactly.
That money's not coming in this year. That tram loan has to be paid off by the end of the year.
I think we just got a
Right.
cost sharing check for how much is that?
$90,000, $94,000.
There- So
Okay,
you
so
added-
that's not $2 million.
So add another 90,000 to that.
I got a copy.
Now we're at 700,000.
And can I ask, Commissioner Connolly mentioned that there would be money coming out of the bond. My question is, the bond money is for the building, so how do you take money out of the bond for something that's non-building related?
They're all reimbursements because we spend the money.
You
and then-
cannot take money to pay off a tram loan out of the
We're
bond.
not paying off the tram loan, we're putting money back in the account that was spent on the things that the bond is supposed to be used for. So you're,
So I'm expecting to vote on a balanced budget. Just so you know, I'm expecting to vote on a balanced budget.
You already voted on
And the
the
way
balanced
you're presenting, excuse me, let me just finish, please. The way you're presenting this budget is, we have $2 million on a tram loan that's due by the end of the year that is not factored into the budget. You're saying we're ending the year on $1 million, but we still have $300,000 left in December. We have several other things in play here that you don't know if it's going to come in or when it's going to come in. And how can you balance a budget on money you don't know when you're going to have or if you're going to have it?
we're mixing up.
So I would like to request something, no matter what happens this evening. I would like the gentleman from PFM that you brought in that said we had 10 years of unbalanced budgets to come in and look at the last 2 years. Because you want to look at all of the other prior administrations, but nobody wants to look in the mirror and look at your own. And I'm looking at the budget right now, and I'm looking at our treasurer's report, and the treasurer's report says for general payroll, we have $84,000 left, and my eyesight's not that great, it's pretty small. And the general fund, 122, but then the end of year balance on the summary shows over $1 million at the end of the year. I don't know where you're getting your numbers.
Well, you're looking at one that's a cash balance and the other one's a cure balance. So you're looking at appropriations of receipts is $20,569,000, and you're looking at a total outlay of $19.8 million.
I'm looking
in
at
the budget. So that's actually a balanced budget.
I'm
That's
looking at, it's not a balanced budget. It's you can say it's a balanced budget, but it's not a balanced budget. And probably the 10 administrations before that the PFM guy was talking about said they had a balanced budget, and they didn't have a balanced budget. So it's basically subjective, I guess, in your case. But
The budget was
the
already.
bottom line is this budget spends over $1 million over last year. Just last year, you were saying how broke our township was and that we were going to have to enter into Act 47. And now all of a sudden, you're flush with cash and you owe $2 million on a loan by the end of the year, and you got all this incoming money. I just want to know what exactly do you have coming in to be able to address the outstanding balances that we still have. And by the way, when I say outstanding balances, that means we don't have a balanced budget.
So, you mind if I go? So, this isn't the budget, for one. The budget was passed unanimously last meeting by everyone. That was the budget.
It wasn't unanimous.
This is an ordinance to be proposed. And when you take 20 minus 19, that leaves one left over. So this is actually better than a balanced budget because this ordinance is 20.5 million. You have 19.8 million in expenses. That math don't add up that you're trying to put out there.
It's not balanced.
It's better than balanced.
It's not balanced.
You're correct. It's better than balanced.
It's not better than balanced. And I would like the
It's a
PFM
plus.
guy to come in.
It's a plus to the tune of over $600,000. So that's a great job on the staff that did that.
Everything you
But
do is always better. It's always better than
just so we look at the numbers here, so we're clear. You gave 460, 150, that equals 610. Okay. You talked about another 300,000. You're at 900,000. You're talking about 200 million that we have
Where are you
currently.
pulling the 300,000?
That's the number. I'm going off the numbers you
No,
gave.
no, don't.
Go numbers you gave.
No,
I
I
wrote
said
these down.
300,000 in payroll. Where are you coming in?
Negative 300,000.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'll take that
No.
off. So we're at 6.
610,
right?
yeah.
And then we have over 1.9 million in investments. Where's your math adding up?
Well, you can say whatever you want about Commissioner Tucky, but I'm sure that his business has a balanced budget and yours doesn't.
There's a difference between the reality. And
That's the difference
perception.
between a businessman on this board and somebody who always thinks they're better.
I don't think I'm better. I work together, so we got this. We passed the budget unanimously last month. This isn't the budget. This is basically the advertising ordinance. And if we're 700,000.
No, it's not to advertise the ordinance. You can't even read right. It's the actual budget for 2026. And you said advertisement twice. We advertised last time, and now this is the actual budget that we're voting on to pass. Please get your facts straight.
Now may be a good time for me to jump in.
Say that everybody's wrong. It's not the ordinance, advertisement, or the actual budget.
No, I made a motion to advertise this as an ordinance.
So this document is actually no longer required. It used to be part of the first-class township code that you would have to pass an ordinance appropriating funds specifically for the budgeted items. That came out a few years ago. This document has not been advertised yet. You don't actually need it, but if you want to do it, it would need to be advertised first.
Okay. But either way, it's not balanced.
I'm not going to get into whether it's balanced or not. The budget itself, my understanding was last month the commissioners were reviewing a draft that would be advertised. It's my further understanding that it was posted pretty much everywhere except in the newspaper where it is supposed to be advertised. So it's too late to fix it right now. I'm suggesting you do it at the meeting in January, which you can do because it's a reorganization year.
Well, then why are we voting on it?
Because
Good
we're voting
question.
to advertise.
So we're voting on it again to advertise.
We do it every year. It's been in the minutes to do every year. Every year we.
Well, who didn't do what they were supposed to do and put it in the paper to advertise?
I think we're doing that now, making a motion.
No, I'm just asking whose responsibility it was to put it in the paper to advertise.
I think that's the motion I made was a motion to advertise.
You're not going to get an answer. That's fine.
Yeah,
So nobody wants to admit they dropped the ball.
I just
basically.
made a motion to advertise this. Did you not
No,
hear that?
I'm asking about last week. Why did we waste our time making a motion last time to advertise? Who was responsible for putting it in the paper for advertisement?
I should have put it in the paper.
Thank you. Thank you for taking accountability. I appreciate that, Brittany. That goes a long way than just not answering a question. And I can definitely forgive that. But I can't forgive an unbalanced budget.
You keep talking about an unbalanced budget.
So Are we going to move forward with voting to advertise this?
Yes.
Everybody?
Well, I would like it clarified on
motion and we
the
have a
agenda. I would
second.
like to amend the agenda to clarify that the vote
It
is
would be
for
reflect-
advertise. It says consideration
It
of
would be
ordinance.
reflected in the minutes.
Okay.
It'll be reflected
Okay. Thank you.
accurately.
I'll definitely make a motion to advertise.
I already did that.
And I hope that people will actually, so do people still have an opportunity to make suggestions during that advertisement period since we're going through this whole process again? Okay, so if any residents have any concerns about an unbalanced budget, feel free to review it when it's advertised officially again.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. So that is to advertise the ordinance for a 2026 budget. We're up to resolution for tax rates.
Motion to keep our tax levy at the 2025 rates.
Same?
I'm just going to start this conversation. This one's wrong too.
It's not. I just made a motion to keep our levy at the 2025 rate, so we're fine.
Don't argue
The
with us,
document's
solicitor.
wrong.
The document would be incorrect.
Right, but that's why I cleaned it up by making a motion. It was a typo to make it with the 25 tax rates. As long as we don't change our levies, that stands, we're fine.
That is accurate.
What was the word that you were gonna, or what were you saying was wrong before Commissioner Steele made his?
Well, it would have said 2026 had we actually passed a budget.
No, I made a motion to keep our tax levies at the same
And I
rate as
seconded.
2025, correct. The only thing is we were gonna move, the levies around by $2,000, that's it.
Okay.
PFM gave us, I think, 4 options.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave us 4 options, but no tax increase.
So next one's going to take.
Basically.
We had a motion. I don't know if we had a second.
We had a
Commissioner
second.
Zubek, second.
We're not making any changes.
Correct.
So I seconded.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That'll be R-2025-68. Now we're up to consideration of resolutions, tax discounts, and penalties.
Motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
These are remaining the same.
Correct.
All right. Anyone else? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll be R-2025-69. We took 15 off of the agenda. We're up to item 16, approval of memorandum of understanding with Stilton High Spire School District to provide police officer attendance at athletic events.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think that's pretty straightforward as far as an explanation. Does anyone have any questions?
I do have a comment. I know Lieutenant Kraling was the point person on that, Superintendent Stauffer, and we've had some confusion between the parties in the past. So we thought it was a good time to update and get a nice document that everybody would agree to. And to clear up that confusion, the Stilton High Spire School District has been working great with us over the last couple months, and we value that partnership. And because of that, we were looking at every single thing that we do there, and that's how this came up. And I was going to call you Dennis, but I'm going to say Lieutenant. I appreciate you putting the time in. And I just want to say for the public, a lot of times you see somebody that looks like Lieutenant Kraling, and you feel very safe because he is an incredible law enforcement officer. But he also does a lot of administrative things and deals with our partners and helps things like this that actually supplement our budget and then help us provide a service. So I can't thank you enough. Appreciate it.
All right. Anybody else?
Can I just add, this would be actually an amendment to the agreement that was approved a couple of months ago for the school resource officer services. It's written kind of broadly so that the school district can request police coverage at any of the athletic events. It's something that's been provided in years past, but this is formalizing that relationship a little bit more, as Commissioner Connolly mentioned. So it's really up to them to say we would like coverage, and up to the township to then say you can have an officer or whatever they request, but they're paying that cost back to the township for each event.
And I just want to add one thing. I think most people know this, but the reason we do this is because the high school, elementary school, and the administration building for Steelton and High Spire School District is all located within the boundaries of Swatara Township. So we're not necessarily going into Steelton or High Spire to perform the service. Their students are here, and that's why we do it.
I do want to make a comment too, just actually more on a positive note. I mean, I think that I've been to Steel High when the school resource officer was there, and I've seen him walking around, and I've seen the how the students have really, taken to the canine, and it's a good experience for the students to have a positive interaction with the law enforcement community. And so I'm very supportive of school resource officers. And I think that it's going to be positive. And I do remember seeing various athletic events. We've already done that in the past, so he did clear that up for me. But I think this is definitely something that all of our schools should have an opportunity to do. So thank you.
Yep, thank you. Does anyone have anything further? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We're up to item 17, consideration of resolution special purpose parking for 400 Essex Street.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Commissioner Zubek, the motion. Superintendent Stauffer, just for the public, a brief description of this request.
It's a pretty standard request. From time to time, folks make special requests of the township to put a reserved space in front of their house within the public parking area on the street along the curb. This is one of those cases. So the resident provided the necessary information for our department to make that decision and recommendation to the board, and that is the recommendation to install a special purpose parking for this resident at 400 Essex Street.
Thank you. All right, we had a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that's going to be resolution R-2025-70. We are up to item 18, visitors' requests and comments. As said before, if you'd like to make comments, please come forward, state your name and address, as well as write them down, and then you may begin.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, question. How long does the budget have to be posted?
20 days.
Very good. I thought it was 30. Okay, second thing. We just heard Chief Everson talk about the fire. I won't elaborate on that. But this board voted to close down a fire company, Chambers Hill Fire Company, this year. Defund, excuse me. Are you getting funds from the township, Mary?
Yes.
You are? What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What fake news?
Well, they weren't, and then they were, so it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
You're currently getting funds?
Some.
Oh.
And guess what? It's not going to continue, I'm sure, once we're off.
Well,
this
no,
board.
I understood that they stopped giving all funds.
No.
Well, very good. And then tonight, we heard, well, actually, in the township newsletter, they advertised 17 parks. We spent more time listening about playground equipment than we heard about the fire department in a pretty dangerous fire. So I think all of you need to support the fire department, because I don't see the support when you don't have a fire truck at Chambers Hill Station. Thank you.
And for the public, gentleman's name is Chris Fries. Does anyone else have any comments at this time?
Emily McCormick, 750 Shady Drive. Just want to say to Commissioner Zubak and Commissioner Tucky, you should be proud for everything you guys have accomplished while on the board. I appreciate the fact that you both are exactly the same here as you are when the cameras are off. And I think our township definitely benefited from having differences of opinion on the board and questioning. And I think we're going to be missing that greatly. But that is everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have any other visitors' requests and comments at this time? All right. We'll go on to item 19. This is on the agenda. Every meeting, possible stormwater violations. If you have one, come forward and state it. You can always contact the township building if something like that ever comes up. All right, we'll go to commissioners' requests and comments, additional business and correspondence. Start with Commissioner Tucky.
Oh, boy. Well, it's good seeing everyone tonight that came out. I appreciate it. And for everyone that's been paying attention online. Chambers Hill Fire Company, there's no way that all their bills are being paid currently. And I know, unfortunately, I have a pretty good feeling that once Commissioner Zubek and I are off this board, they're not going to be funded anymore. And that was pretty much stated by Commissioner Conley, if I'm not mistaken, correct? A few meetings ago, months ago. And then when it's questioned, there was complete amnesia about that particular issue. I'm not going to be long-winded tonight, but we need Chambers Hill Fire Company up there. We need those members that are willing to help participate up there, continue, and keep allowing them to grow their fire company. I've been totally supportive of Chambers Hill Fire Company and our whole fire service and our police. That's what we should be doing. And the issue was made that, they have rentals there so they can help fund themselves to a point. They've served our community for over 71 years. Unfortunately, they have had some issues having enough volunteers up there on a regular basis. They are working hard to do so. But currently, they have 4 members up there right now working. Correct? This young gentleman up in the audience is one of them. And he's going through certifications. He's working hard along with work, like many other volunteers do throughout. What it normally costs for just one firefighter fully paid is, I believe, on average, about $100,000 a year with benefits. What we're paying Chambers Hill Fire Company to allow them to keep growing their fire company is minimal. And we need to allow them to continue to work their course and do what needs to be done to try to grow their fire company. And the comment was made by Commissioner Conley, we worked on this for over a year, we're done. We're not done. We can't be giving up on our volunteers that are willing to help. We gotta allow them to continue to keep growing. And if we are going to the part-time full paid like we've been, we need to allow some up at Chambers Hill. There's no excuse why we shouldn't be doing that. As you have bad weather. Mushroom Hill was terrible. This last storm, there was a bad accident there. We need to be able to have a fire station up in that area. Not just because I live there, but we need to. for the community's sake. So Mary and the rest of your staff, I pray that you guys continue to keep working on growing the fire company. Throughout the whole year, well, actually past 2 years, we've been losing our fire companies. Bressler, unfortunately, we lost because the majority of this board shut it down instead of letting the AG finish their investigation and move forward. And then if there was issues why we would have to shut down a fire company, we could make that decision from there. It was even stated by Commissioner Conley a few meetings in, well, second meeting after it was brought up about supposed issues at Bressler Fire Company with their organization, not necessarily a fire company, that there was a possibility there was issues, that they would allow them to go through the whole process until anything would be done. That unfortunately did not happen. And that should have. We had 15 volunteers up there that were willing to help our community, and we should allow them to run until, if by chance there was something that was proven, that person or people should be held accountable. But from my understanding to this day, there was never any firefighter members that were 100% found to where there was any issues. AG's still hasn't come back with a report. And I don't, unfortunately, that whole issue as far as I was concerned, because due process wasn't allowed. And that should have been. That I have issues with. And like I said, if there was someone that was held accountable, should be held accountable, or two, then that so be it. But with shutting everything down with no proof, not allowing that investigation to go through completely, is wrong. Moving forward throughout the time here, there was an employee that was being reprimanded, we'll put it that way, for possibly doing something wrong. To this day, I still don't know what that employee did, because myself and Commissioner Zubek requested the information. We never got anything from it. That's not right. It should not be happening. And that's 100% honest. Everything I'm saying is upfront and honest. That should have never happened. On top of it, that employee was messed around with for a good part of 2 months. And I don't care what anyone says. It's just crazy how some of the staff have been treated, how citizens have been treated, how certain people, their own jobs was threatened because of comments they made. But the problem is those comments that certain people made was 100% spot on and accurate. It's not a dictatorship, it's a township. And it's just not right. It should not be handled. None of this stuff should have been handled the way it was. And after I'm done speaking, because I'm the first to speak, so I'm not allowed to say anything afterwards, that's fine. But I'm not here to lie or make up stories or anything. And I do have major concerns with our financial situations that we're having in our township. There's a pile of bills waiting to be paid. Don't tell me we're in great position. Don't tell me this cost sharing, cost savings thing is really working, because it's not. These staff members in here have been treated, majority of them have been treated like garbage. And I stand behind everything I say. They have been. As soon as this board took over, almost 2 years ago, you let go of 3 staff members saying that it was because of financial issues.
that, first off, we weren't in that bad of shape to begin with. The gentleman from PFM was up there a few months after we all agreed on having them look at our finances and give us direction for a better way to handle the funds, to handle the way we went about business. He stood up there, said very clearly a lot of the issues that we have in our township. One of them being COVID money was not used improperly, inappropriately. He stated himself. That gentleman went through our finances and he stated that himself. This board voted unanimously to have him go through and the records and look through and give us suggestions on how we can get better. But that's one of the things he stated. The other thing he stated, and it's not to pat ourselves in the back, not at all, but in 23, we actually scaled down $1 million off or less than that because of how we were running things. I just wish games would stop and the things that should be done for our residents happen. And no offense to the other two candidates that won, I wish them all the best. But unfortunately, I have concerns about having things being brought to the public when we find issues. And I wish we didn't have to say a word about anything that we felt was wrong. But unfortunately, there's a lot. And I also have concerns, and I've stated it, so did Commissioner Zuzak plenty of times, the way the funds are being used. Cost sharing, cost saving sounds great, right? You're going to do things, get jobs done better in a reasonable amount of time with less. In my opinion, it's not working that way. And the amount of funds being taken from the sewer authority, it's a separate entity. It should have been left a separate entity. That was not left that way with this board. When I first got on this board, I was told it was its own entity. The only thing that this board had anything to do with was having different members to be put on that board when it was their term was up, when their time was up. We're not doing that now. We have our hands all in it. And Commissioner Still, just to have simple things done, like have the budget put online, stuff that should be public knowledge, to this day still is not done. That's just some of my concerns. I'm going to be done with that. I appreciate all the staff. It's been nice working with you. Thanks for everything that you are doing. It was stated over the past few years that I'm against the volunteer fire company. It's not the case at all. Has never been. I'm totally supportive of the fire company and the police. I don't agree with the direction some of the members, the leadership is taking our fire company in. It's not a knock. I've really been thinking a lot about a lot of stuff over the past month. I'll be done soon here. I want to thank everyone in the community that has been supportive. I want to thank everyone that continues to pay attention with the meetings and stay involved in the community. And it's been a privilege and an honor to serve the residents of this township. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening. Stay safe, and I hope you have a nice holiday season.
Thank you. Commissioner Zubak?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, although I do agree with Commissioner Tucky's concerns, and I'll just leave it there. I do want to follow up on the fire service and just let everybody know that I'm entirely pro-public safety, entirely pro-fire service. I love our volunteers. I love our fire service. I started as a volunteer in both the fire service and the ambulance service when I was 18 years old, actually, while I was in high school. And, and it takes a special group of people to put the time and effort into that, they do. It's a special type of person. It's a person that is naturally community oriented, somebody who continuously wants to give of their time, that actually cares about people and property. And it's not for everybody, but it's for a lot of people and I believe that there are a lot of people out there that are still there to be found, that really don't know what their calling is yet. And that's what recruitment is all about. But I do also am realistic, and I think Commissioner Tucky agrees too, that you can have a township-wide fire service and multiple locations. And this is where I have always been on this issue, that I think we need cohesiveness. I think we need a township-wide fire service. I think there is a volunteer component that it can still be part of that. I think we are leading toward a time where you can save money, you should. You don't need to force things. Things happen naturally. And I think that's what a leadership is all about. It's about knowing when to push and knowing when to lay back and knowing, when to be patient. And that's something a lot of people that I've encountered, especially on this board over the last few years, don't have the patience. And they don't have the community engagement to go out and actually talk to people about what the plans are for our township. And I think this last election, I think that there was a lot of people that probably, saw it more as maybe a popularity contest, or they didn't like certain things that were going on at maybe a higher level of government, or there's all different reasons why people do the things they do. But there is no more important entity than your local government. That hits you directly in your pocket. It hits you directly on your streets and in your neighborhoods. And I really wish I could get people to understand how important they say that they're off election years. I don't think there should ever be an off election year. I think every single election is equally as important. And when Commissioner Tucky touched on some of the intermingling of funds, the concerns with the cost sharing and things like that, I just want people to know, don't just pay attention to your taxes and whether or not they go up. Pay attention to your sewer fees. Because when one fund is raided, your fees are going to go up somewhere else. When there's no money left in one place, your fees are going to go up somewhere else. That is why those entities are meant to be separate. That is why you shouldn't intermingle funds. And those are the concerns that I've had. I love our township. I love our staff. I love the residents. I've, spent my entire adult life in public service, both in my career and in my community service. I've coached basketball. I coached soccer. I coached every sport you could think of. Kickboxing. I still do that. I have a black belt in karate. A lot of people don't know that about me. I've given my time to people outside of the spotlight, and I look forward to going back outside of the spotlight and continuing to do what I've done my entire life. I was a boxer when I got on this board, and I had to give things up because I didn't have enough time to do that anymore. So there's a lot of good people. There's a lot of good things. I want to encourage this entire board and the new people coming on to listen to the residents. They're the ones that voted for you. They're the reason that we all are here. They make the decisions. This board collectively makes a decision based on what their needs are and what they want. And I've seen it a lot. The last couple of years, I've seen the disdain toward residents that have a differing of opinion. I've seen the name calling of certain residents that have a differing of opinion. And it shocked me to my core, because as somebody who served in public service my entire adult life, it goes against everything that I have learned throughout my life to disrespect a resident who has a concern in a public forum. You can disagree. It's easy to disagree with people, but you don't not have to embarrass people. That is never okay. And I hope that the new people coming in agree that that is not okay. There are concerns that there's going to be agreement across the board. Is that really healthy? I don't know. I know that people need to pay attention, and each one of us individually has a responsibility. And I'm not trying to look at statistics and 99% of the time we agree. I don't really care about that. I only care, I love when we can agree 99% of the time. But when your disagreement is so strong because in your core you know that the board is making a bad decision, that disagreement should be taken seriously. It should be thought out, it should be discussed. And I want to end on a positive note and just let everyone know that I wholeheartedly appreciated every person that I've met, made a lot of new friends, and I look forward to continuing to maintain a lot of those friendships. I want to thank my family for all the time and effort that they put in to, my son worked the polls for me. My daughter works the polls for me. My kids have been going door to door since they were in strollers. So it was really, truly a family effort, and I can't thank my family enough for the late nights that I've spent here, and they're waiting on me patiently to get home and, filling in where the gaps are. And I just lost my dog last week. Very, very sad. But he was also part of the family that waited on me to get home after these long meetings. Life goes on, but they're very much a part of our, your family sacrifices a lot when you're sitting up here. I thought about all the nights I could have been sitting home with my dog that I missed. So, those are things that you think about, but I also think about the reward of all of this, and that is the fact that not many people can say that they had the opportunity to be selected by their peers to serve in a leadership position, whether it's township, county, state, or federal government. And to me, that was truly an honor. And so I want to thank all of you, thank my family, thank the staff, because I think we have an excellent staff in this township, and I've enjoyed working with all of you. And I look forward to continuing to work with you in other capacities. And, all my best and many blessings for Christmas and the New Year. Happy Hanukkah, everyone, and see you next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Connolly?
I'll start with, I appreciate the opportunity to serve with all the commissioners that I've served with over the years. Specific to commissioners Christine Zubek and Mike Tuckey. There's two things that stand out that I think are major accomplishments that, not necessarily as a board, but as individuals, that they were the person behind the driving force behind it. And I'll say the senior committee was something that came up when I was the president of the board to actually started as a committee. It really didn't take off until I was off the board and Commissioner Tuckey was on that. And we have an incredible senior fair, and those things take a lot of work. So in partnership, we've worked on many things together, lots of board accomplishments, but that's something I think that he really started. We'll continue it and keep it going, but it hit an underserved population with an event that's very regional. Even though it's here in Swatara Township, people come from all over. The number of vendors are incredible. So I thank and appreciate him for that. And what comes to mind with Commissioner Christine Zubek is something that we talk about every couple months. And she really was the person who suggested and was the driving force behind what we now, and I see we have a Dolwood staff member in the audience, what we have now is our capital improvement, capital project plan. There were a lot of things in the township over the years that we talked about doing, and then we heard from the people before us that they were going to do it. And there was a growing list of things that needed to be done and weren't done. And I wish I could say every one of them is off the list, but Commissioner Zubek said at a meeting where we were talking about these things, let's put together a list. And I remember right away we had 6 things, like important things. And a lot of those you see are finally being completed or have been completed, but one was the condition of Dairy Street years ago, one was Eisenhower Boulevard, but a lot of them were parks, and then that 6 went to 8 to 10 to 12. Now we have hopefully identified the majority of the projects, and they're in different phases, and it takes a while. But I would certainly give her credit for saying, like, why don't we just have a list that goes from board to board so we don't have to say what was the other person interested in. And from my experience governing, that's something I love when we get the updates to see where we're going. And then part of that, once we had things on the list, then we started to look at the funding, going after grants, which both commissioners, really everybody up here, but I'm talking about those two right now, they certainly would say, let's try to get the funding from another source, what's available. And then, collectively, obviously the board is receptive to that, but on the capital project list that we still use, and you'll hear about it, as we move on, after all of us are off the board. It's something that will continue to go forward, and obviously the senior fair is an incredible event here, so that will continue to go forward. And I just want to add something collectively. President Ellis was also on the board with them. Absolutely love the fireworks. That started during their time period. We're upgrading that park, but we want to be committed to the fireworks, whether we can do them there or somewhere else. So I want to start with those positives, and then I just want to go on to say I think some of the comments really differ from mine as far as my perspective here, and I want to throw out some thank yous. Obviously, Jeff Painter, which I don't know how he looks younger every year, but we have known each other for a crazy amount of years. I'm not going to say how many, but most of our lives. And I appreciate you and the Legion for coming and showing your gratitude to our public safety. And obviously, whenever we can partner with you, we will, and we know that you're there for us. So thank you. I'm going to move on to the budget. We have a difference of opinion. It is a balanced budget. Taxes will not increase. This will be the 13th year the taxes didn't increase, and challenge you to look at other communities. I know you live here, so it doesn't really matter how much they pay in other communities, but I personally have family members and friends that live in other places, and I'm always proud when we have the conversations about the sewer, which is a totally separate entity, but we do have cost sharing to try to keep that down. Certainly stormwater. We're crossing out of our 7th year of stormwater, and we've never increased it. And we started lower than everybody. So we've seen people that actually increased it since its inception. It's never happened here, and we've been doing incredible stormwater projects here in the township. We had a 5-year PRP, which is a pollutant reduction plan. We met the goals. We're into the next one. So again, a government mandate on us to have this fee and do these projects. We don't sit up here and think of ways to get your money. And I said this in the previous meeting for the Stormwater Authority. When we are facing a situation where we're obligated by law and required to do programs and to raise funds from the public, we always look at what is the absolute minimum amount we can charge the public to do the best job and meet the requirements. And we've accomplished that. And I think we've accomplished that again with this budget. There's always challenges. If we did the budget again tomorrow, we would know now that we saved on a projection. And I agree with Commissioner Zubik. We're not saving overall. It's going up 14% in one budget item, but we were told it was going to go up 20%, and that's healthcare. And you know, you don't have to come here to see that healthcare is a hot topic at every level of government. And you know, we're doing what we can here. I'm going to jump to fire. Again, we have a difference of opinion. I know of a time when there was 7 fire departments in Swatara Township. They were neighborhood fire departments. They had people in the neighborhood that came out. The fires generally were local to them. As time went on, you know, we're down to, there's 3 stations that people respond from in Swatara Township. And we hear a lot of things that are cause for alarm, but on the fire report that will be posted online, and I see Chief Iverson stepped out, total active personnel, 76. 76 Swatara Township fire rescue personnel. And this list from the chief, firefighters, fire police, lieutenants, captains, assistant chiefs, battalion chiefs, 76 people that are getting to an emergency in an average response time of 4 minutes and 32 seconds. And you can match this to report year after year. I believe 76 is one of the highest numbers we have. It's a monthly report. And I believe 4 minutes and 32 seconds is the lowest, one of the lowest, if not, our year to date is 521. But we used to hear that 8 minutes was not attainable, that we couldn't get there in 8 minutes, and then the formula on fire of how much bigger the fire gets every minute, and you know, you're going to be responding to something worse if it takes you longer. So we have more people responding quickly, and I just want to be clear, this is 133 calls for service in Swatara Township and Paxtang, and there's enough confidence with the elected officials in Paxtang that they contract with us, but 9 of those were fires. People are calling a fire rescue for lots of other things, and one of the highest numbers is medical calls, and we have highly trained personnel that are getting out, getting there quick, and you know, I'm going to have to say I think they do a great job in our community. The parks that we talk about here, we have a large segment of the population that's young and wants to use the parks, or their parents or their grandparents. So we heard tonight that maybe we talked longer about the parks. That's not every meeting. We have a fire report every single meeting. When we have issues in the parks and we're improving them, we talk about it. But I'm very proud of the effort that we're putting into the parks, and this is everybody on this board that wants to see improvements. The Crest had a broken piece of equipment, and we blocked it off, and then we heard from people, you know, it's broken. We did, but at the same time, we were getting bids. Now it's been removed. A new piece will go in. And I'll give you the story behind it. When we looked at it, a tunnel was broken connecting 2 play pieces. We thought we could just get another tunnel and put it on. Well, the manufacturer has changed all the specifications over the years. Even though that looked like it was modern, it was more than 20 years old. Being out in the sun and the weather, it really wasn't safe. So we made the decision there and other places to upgrade when we can, but the majority of the money used to upgrade the parks so far has been from grants that we work to get. So, we're doing everything we can to be good stewards of your money. And I think collectively we're doing that. It's not going to be perfect, and everybody has different opinions. I do want to touch on some of the events that are coming up. The chief had talked about an event that's coming up, which is Shop with a Cop. We're also going to have in the township, and it involves more than one entity, wreaths across America, also on the 13th. And that involves some of our cemeteries and then some of our veterans groups. So we appreciate everybody that's involved in that. And our police and fire, again, will adopt either a family or children this year. It's a very successful program. The money does not come out of taxpayer dollars, but they find each year somebody in the community, a family, some children that could benefit from interaction with our police and firefighters and have a really good holiday. They have a meal together. They provide some presents to them. And it's been my experience that over the years, we keep in contact or see those families at other events. Some had returned this year to the tree lighting. Some were at the fireworks. Some were at the Family Fun Festival on Dairy Street. And they always remember that. And when you're as old as I am, you start to forget. So I'll have a young man or a young lady come up to me and say, I remember when this happened or that happened, and they're so thankful to the police. And a lot of times I'll point out the police officer who was there, and then they make the connection. So there's a lot of good things going on. I have at least 20 other things that I doodled on here, but I'm not going to bore everybody with them. But they were all good, positive things. And I do want to say that we have 2 new people coming on the board. And on their campaign material, they had 3 bullet points. I didn't see them say anything negative about any one of us up here, anything negative about Swatara Township when they were campaigning and I was around them or they came to my house. They said that they were campaigning and their goal was to be able to provide fiscal responsibility, support public safety, and represent all Swatara Township residents fairly. That's all they said. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what the board strives to do collectively, the board you're looking at, the next board, and the board after that. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Enjoy this holiday season and get home safely. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Steele.
Yes, thank you everybody that came out and sat with us for the last 2-3 hours, including the stormwater meeting. And then everyone that logged online. Real quick, I want to read a letter from one of our residents that's thanking the Board of Commissioners, if you remember, Lori McLean, the park that was dedicated to her and her late husband, Kenneth McLean, had sent the Board of Commissioners a letter, and I want to read it so she knows that we're thinking of her and that we read her letter in public for her thanks. Please forgive me for this long delay in sending a note of appreciation. Excuse me, let me back up. Board of Swatara Township Commissioners, please forgive me for this long delay in sending a note of appreciation for your dedication, the children's playground in Chambers Point, to me and my dear late husband, Ken. I had no idea why my daughter, Michelle, had taken me to the July 9th Swatara Township meeting. I was so very surprised and overwhelmed by the dedication. Watching the playground being built has been a delightful highlight in a very difficult time of losing Ken. I was 22 when we married and 80 when he passed away on 7/24/24. Sometimes I think part of me went with him. Whenever I pass the park, I call out to Ken and say, Ken, look what the Board of Swatara Township Commissioners has done for our neighborhood children. I know he would be very happy for the kiddos. Please accept my $100 check to be used for the playground. Sincerely, Lori J. McLean, Lori. Miss Kenneth M. McLean, Jr. P.S. During the summer, when I would go to my mailbox, I could see the slides being erected. What a fun structure. And then she also sent us a little card that says, to the Swatara Township Board of Commissioners, so much, wishes, sincere wishes, Lori McCain.
Thank
So if
you.
you're watching, thank
her.
you,
Thank her.
Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Couple things, other things that I'd like to touch on as far as some of the park upgrades. I know Commissioner Conley had touched on some of them, and I think we'll get some more highlights here in the near future. But Bishop Park's obviously a new park. Chambers Point is a new park, and we'll get some much needed updates. Ivy Ridge, Clown, Crest, and Horder Park. And that's a collective effort of all the board members putting these items in the budget and being able to approve them. And when we get the estimates, coming here and collectively approving them as well. Commissioner Tuckey, Commissioner Zubek, I wish you well in your endeavors. One thing I do want to say is that Commissioner Zubek, I've known you a long time. You've always been tenacious. You don't back down from no one. It's no surprise that you are a boxer, that you're a black belt, because as nice as you can be is as tenacious as you can be, and you're prepared to go at anyone that needs to be gone at. And I don't think anyone up here will doubt the love that you have for this township and the community. But one thing I want to say is it takes guts to run an election. You did that. You put yourself on full display to the public out there, that anyone could say anything and anyone could say anything about you that could be hurtful, that could be non-true, and you know from being an elected official, that takes guts. Not only that, the second most important piece, I think, is sitting up here and governing, and this is to you, Mr. Tuckey, as well. You know how difficult it is sometimes to have a collection of people come up and agree on ideas, because essentially there's 5 different ideas here, and it's how do we get those 5 ideas together to make one collective thought and actually get something done. Commissioner Tuckey, I've always said to you, I remember 4 years ago when you were outside, and I guess for lack of better terms, you were PO'd at a meeting. And as we're having a conversation, and you felt like they weren't hearing you, and I said, well, they ain't hearing you, why don't you run then? Show them what you're about. And look, 4 years later, 2 years later, I think you ran and you won and you did what you had to do. And we appreciate your service here too as well, because if you two weren't on this board, we don't know who else would have filled the seats. But just given your time and your effort, whether we agreed what that effort looked like or what that decision looked like, we appreciate you just for filling the seat and actually trying. That's the most important part. And I think sometimes when we see the things that transpire up here, we forget that, or the public doesn't see that. I don't think it was ever really about Democrat versus Republican or Republican versus Democrat. I think it was genuinely, let's have a debate, and sometimes those debates turns nasty, and I get it, but that's the beautiful thing about the freedom that we live in America and being able to debate openly. Some of the other things I'd like to touch on, just so we're clear, and to answer back to you, Commissioner Tuckey. The sewer board shares a website with the township, and their documents were never uploaded, and they began to be uploaded under the new board at the Sewer Authority. So just so we're clear, the budget for 25 was uploaded, is that correct, Brittany? And the treasurer's reports and the minutes are begin to be uploaded as well. I think we're up to 2024 with the minutes so far, that they found all the minutes and they started to gather and put the minutes on. So just so we're clear in the message that we put to the public, and I think President Ellis next year, I think it might be beneficial that we probably do give a sewer update from the liaison, whoever that's going to be at the township meeting. So, we can combat some of the rhetoric that might come through. So we make sure we're giving the residents, because not that many people attend sewer meetings, and I implore you to attend the sewer board meetings, because there's really no one there. Literally no one comes. But as far as rates, your rates have not went up on sewer since I've been chairman on the board and the new board took over. As far as our budgets, I was just looking through for some of the things that you were saying. We do get a financial status, and just week over week, we were at 8.5 million in our general fund. This week, we're at 8.8 million. So the sewer authority is not losing money, contrary to popular belief of your opinion. I think if we actually take the time to get the information, you will see that the cost sharing agreement is working. And I'm not going to rehash this out, why it's working, what's beneficial, and things to that nature. I think there's no problem with you can meet with the finance director and get the information that you need to get. As far as Chambers Hill, I've always been a fan of Chambers Hill, and I don't know why we say the rhetoric that they're out of service or they can't respond to calls. Just 2 weeks ago, I was on a call. 3 weeks ago, I was on a call with Mary and Greg, and Mary and Greg arrived first. Mary, you gave the size up to the residential automatic fire alarm in the pouring down rain, getting out the back, putting your gear on. So they're not out of service. I think they are and have tried to continue to rebuild, and no one's stopping that progress, because if that was the case, her and Greg wouldn't have responded to a call. And, we appreciate your service and everyone that wants to run there. And I think at some point we have to have the honest discussion of what is actually transpiring, because it was 14 members and now it's 4. And I'm all for a volunteer fire service. And if you have 4, kudos to you. If you had 14, kudos to you. Let's keep growing that membership base so you can continue to respond. I'm not even going to touch on the hard decisions that had to be made on the other topics that were brought up. Sometimes you just have to make tough decisions as an elected official, and it's against popular opinion. It is what it is, but all in all, I hope you two do continue to be involved. I hope you continue to give advice, whether that advice is warranted or not. I think your experience on this board will continue to help many, many boards in the future. And I also hope that possibly, I know you're probably going to take a break, but hopefully in the future you will decide to, possibly be on other boards as, you see fit. But I just want to say, let's go out on a good note here. I think we had a great time serving with you two on the board, and I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a safe drive home. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to start by saying I'd like to thank Ms. McLean for that lovely thank you note that she sent to the board, and wish her well this holiday season. I'd like to thank the Lawton Legion for your very generous donation for police and fire. That's very appreciated and will be put to good use. I want to congratulate our newly graduated police officers from the police academy and welcome them on officially. I want to thank all of township staff, the department heads, our admin staff, public works, police, and stormwater staff for everything that you've done this year and everything that you've always done, but I just want to make sure that I say it. Thank you to fire services and fire police. You guys do a great job always, and you don't have to do it, so you are appreciated. I do want to say thank you to Commissioners Zubek and Tucky for your service to the township. I said it before and I'll say it again too, it definitely does take some strength to step up, get your name on a ballot, and I completely can relate with the comments that Commissioner Zubek made about the sacrifices for your family that you make. So I wish you guys the best. Say happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, any other holidays. Happy New Year. Thank you to everyone that takes the time to watch these. And I hope everyone that's here gets home safely. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Do a motion for
I'll make a
adjournment?
motion to adjourn.
You a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 9:33 p.m.